Anyway, don't care. I mean, kind of care, actually. Curious. Probably look it up after. Well, I'll look it up right now. It is Tuesday, October 15th. This is, of course, the video log that takes 30,000 to a million. Welcome. Now, today, after I give you a brief review of the account, I want to share my thoughts on EXK, Endeavor silver mining company in Mexico, based in Canada. I want to give you my thoughts on basically some of the trades that I've been doing and my plans for some of this cash that have sitting on the sidelines. And also, I forgot to do my Robinhood cash management tabs today. We got it done. All right. So, anyways, I'm gonna go into the account right now. I haven't done a video log in a while, and I want to be able to record all this that's been going on. Number one, I kind of dodged a bullet actually with the Oh, by the way, I didn't go down a grand. What's going on here is actually the options play earlier. All right, over here, it boosted my account like 700 extra dollars or so, and that's really not that accurate. I wasn't near $73,000 in the beginning of the day. It's just how options work. You know, the revaluation. You can see how as soon as the day started, this got recalculating. All right, so it's 72,000 and almost 500 is the peak, which is my all-time intraday high, unless you want to consider this little pop in the after hours, which I don't. So 72,500, let's call it, is the new all-time high. Now, before the $2,000 that I've entered, that would mean it's 70,500 if you go and buy the long-lasting money entry amount. I've been growing the account for a good amount of time now, maybe a few months, something like that. So I would still be sitting at an all-time high. So anyways, all-time high 72,500. Still close to that. I'm off. Well, all-time close would be 72,300 or something like that. But I'm only off about $400, which isn't bad. The main thing that's kind of grinding my account lower is the fact that gold and silver and their responding mining shares are going down, as well as energy fuels here and some of the uranium stocks, chemical, etc. All the chemicals holding up fine, and some of my options are expiring. One of them already did expire, and I have rolled it over, meaning like I've sold another put on chemical to start collecting some more cash. Well, why don't I show it to you right here? So a $9 put that expires on 10/25. So I'm collecting just $10 on it. But the thing is, it's only a couple weeks. So $10 a couple weeks, another $10 in a couple weeks. That makes 2% per month, which is really good. 2% per month means 24% per year if I keep rolling it over just like that, which is a really good return, by the way. All right, especially if we're doing something like this. So as long as chemicals stays between $9 and $10, I'm Gucci. All right, I'm really happy about that. Now, although it's losing me money it's towards the lower end of $9. I'd rather it be sitting closer to 10. Anyway, moving on. EXK had a nice big fall today, $42 down, sitting at $2.03. I'm continuing to add shares. I'm up to 700 shares now. The third and maybe greatest accumulation of EXK shares is underway. The reason I say greatest is because a month or two ago, I don't know when silver topped off, I did mention that I think it's going to be another at least 6 months before silver has another all-time high. Or not all-time high, but another high past the 1950 dollar mark. And so I've now accumulated 700 shares, and I can see myself probably accumulating a lot more than that. I think this is going to be deeper than the other two times I scaled in and scaled out, and I profited from on this account. Now, as I've mentioned before, this isn't even the first or second or third time I've done this, right? I've been doing this for a long time now, for years, even though the price of EXK has been going down steadily over the last 7 years or so. I have been able to profit off of these swings, and I'm hoping to do the same here. Now, I mean, if you want to decide to do the same, like, that's on you. I wish you luck, and maybe we can all profit from this. But now just make sure that whatever decision you make, it is your own decision. You're ultimately responsible for your own decisions. You know, I'm not actually liable for anything that you do, and it's if you're confused of what to do or you don't understand the risks that are involved with these transactions, just consult your local professional, financial advisor, and make sure you just really clearly understand what's at stake here and the fact that you could, including the fact that you could lose all your money. And don't do that. EXK could go bankrupt, and all of your invested cash could, or speculative cash, could go down to zero. It's possible. It's happened before. All right. Okay. Now, that's a long ass disclaimer. Back to EXK. Down almost 3% today. I didn't buy anything today. I think it's gonna keep grinding lower, and I'm probably gonna try to get my next purchase around the $2 mark or even a little bit below. I have plenty of money to purchase more EXK because, moving on down the list of the second stock of importance, Apple. I actually sold 7 shares of Apple at 237 or somewhere about that. Let me see what the exact price was. History 237.36. So technically, if I rebuy now at around this level, I'd be, would have saved the loss of like $14. But I'm thinking I might rebuy those 7 shares when they're quite a bit lower, maybe in the 220 area. Or this flexible cash that I have cleverly invested in GSY will be deployed in purchasing EXK shares or Apple shares, whichever one gets undervalued first. Now, in addition to the 1765 that I have in GSY, mind you, a financial instrument that I will no longer need once the cash management option in Robinhood kicks in, I also have emerging market bonds that are more than willing to sacrifice here in the goal of achieving that scale out method. So I still have another $5,000 to go into EXK. So my pockets are deep right now. They're lined, and they're waiting for that company to drop big, in which case I'm ready to pounce. Last time it didn't go that deep, so the profits weren't that great. I don't know how many dollars, maybe $500 or something, $600-$700 off of the entire scaling. It wasn't very deep. This one I think might be a little deep. If it turns out to be shallow, EXK goes to $3 in the next week or something like that, fine. I'll still have profited quite a bit, and I don't mind that. But I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna grind down lower and consolidate for quite a bit and stay around this price, if not even lower, for the few months at least. The January is kind of a little bit suspicious because during January, usually the silver and gold market has a pop. Now, I don't know if this will actually happen. As you know, that I think that pretty much everything is priced into the market, and so I try to, factor all of that in, including the chance that it will happen, all the historical records and whatnot. So I'm actually betting on the fact that a lot of people know that this happens, and they might sell on that fact, right? So they might use it to actually sell rather than buy. And I don't think actually it's gonna get that big of a pop. I might be wrong, right? It happened in 2000 and the previous 3 years. In January had quite a bit of a big of a rally there, and some profits to be made. But I think it's gonna be fairly flat this time around, and the consolidation phase will probably continue all the way until April, March. April, something like that. Um, so those are my thoughts on how the silver gold market is going to work out, and especially EXK, which is the vehicle, right, that I'm using to play this market because it's a leverage play on the metals. Another possibility that's going to happen is now on the 30th, I believe, they're going to be releasing the conference call. Their production did miss some targets so far, but I'm thinking that, and which is why the price of EXK is a little bit lower. But I think that all of those bad news will be priced in, and there might be a pop in 15 days or so when the conference call happens. There might actually be a pop in the stock, but I don't think it's going to be very long lived. I think it's going to get sold off, and the grind sideways is going to continue all the way into next year, including a minor, subtle, expected but underwhelming pop in the stock price in January. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is going to happen. So I'm going to use that as my guiding, as my guide as I'm trying to enter in the build a position in EXK and eventually, hopefully, sell it for a profit like I have been before. Now, just because I've done it before doesn't mean that I'm going to succeed this time around. All right. So make sure that you are really aware of that fact, right? Also, I usually like to advocate that people don't copy other traders, including me, or vastly more successful traders that are out there who do a lot better job than I do. Um, I would suggest you don't copy. Like, it's better to come off with your original idea and angle because if you're, well, for many reasons, it will make you a better trader, right? I mean, it's kind of like being an artist and always tracing somebody else's work, right? Like if you want to paint the Mona Lisa, it's like you put transparent paper over the Mona Lisa and you outline it, and there you go. You have the same lines that whoever did it. Was it, I don't know who it was. Was it Da Vinci? I don't know. Who's the guy that painted Mona Lisa? Michelangelo? Who knows? I don't know. I think it's Da Vinci. Maybe? Who knows? Anyway, don't care. I mean, kind of care. Actually, curious. Probably look it up after. Oh, I'll look it up right now. Look it up right now. Right, that's right. On this video log. Who? I'm a slow typer, okay? Painted Mona Lisa. It is. Verdict says Leonardo da Vinci. Got it right. What's up? Huge history buff. All right. Anyway, so you want to be able to paint your own famous painting. Okay, so that's what's going to work out for you. And I mean, you might make some dollars now, but in the long run, right, you won't have developed the skill to generate dollars yourself. You're always going to be dependent on something else to make dollars. And if you need further validation on this, just go Google up and search up some stories on the horror stories of people following others all the way into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, and then losing it all because guess what? They kept following, right? They kept following, and eventually one bad call in either a wrong position, wrong sizing of their trade or whatever, they lose it all because they've just been following other people. So I would suggest you develop the skill. More than welcome to copy what I do, right? More than welcome to copy what Warren Buffett does or what anybody else does. But I'm just telling you right now, it's better to develop your own style and hone it, and own it. All right. Well, I mean, that's really generally my advice, and that's what I like to tell people because I really believe it. Anyways, not an all-time high today, but hopefully by maybe next week there's some moves, something gets reshuffled. Maybe the uraniums go up and I'll score yet another all-time high, which I really like doing, and I'm confident that it's going to happen in the future more and more. Okay, I think that's it for today. Hopefully y'all are making more money than I am, and until next time, peace out.